What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the 1 NIO stock and do some in-depth technical analysis on what you should be looking out for tomorrow. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow and talk about why on earth an executive order from President Joe Biden may play a role in NIO going parabolic for tomorrow. I'm also going to talk about what NIO put on their Twitter page that makes me even more bullish and why I believe NIO is set for some very, very good moves for the next trading day and also for next week. And before I break any of this down, before I get into any more details, I got to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 7 days. So please check that out before it runs out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, we're up 7.29% for the day, also green in the after hours. And we could see, if you look at the 200 EMA, NIO has been respecting this quite well when pushing up. Now, when it comes to the overall market, the market is kind of pushing up as well. We saw not just NIO, but also the SPY, the NASDAQ starting to push up again. If you look at the fear and greed index, the market went from being extremely fearful like 2 weeks ago, last month, a few days ago, super fearful. Now we're on the fear side. The market's becoming, it's shifting closer to the greedy side, which is a very good sign, in my opinion. Now, from a technical perspective, let's look at the SPY and the NASDAQ first before I talk about NIO. Look at the SPY, look at the last day. We got that nice W that form. We pushed up really hard, and the SPY looks like it just wants to get out of here. So if you look at the 5-day chart, okay, the SPY is just pushing up and up and up. It is possible for it to get a bit of a test, maybe in the downward direction. But after that, it looks pretty darn bullish. If you ask me, I can actually draw this out kind of like this. We could actually draw a trend line from like around here up until like right here. And you can see, what is the SPY doing? We might get a bit of a drop down to like 412, 413, and a nice bounce, and we could actually push green again. We might even touch 420 tomorrow. It might happen way sooner than I expected. Going back down to the NASDAQ, very similar. You can see the NASDAQ's pushing up too. It had to cool off its RSI a bit, but it does look pretty bullish too. It's respecting this upward trend as well. We had this gap down here. We don't necessarily have to fill that gap just yet. It looks more like we're just going to keep going. And as a result, it looks to me like NIO is going to be in the 20s relatively soon. I think NIO is going to start pushing up very soon. By next week, it should be in the 20s in my opinion. And I want to talk about what I predict is going to happen, because we also have this big executive order from Joe Biden that's coming out. I'm going to talk about its significance. So first off, if NIO starts to drop, okay, if it hypothetically started to drop, we have support at 17.93, 17.4, 17, and then 16.5. I mean, I don't really see this thing going down to 16.5, if I'm going to be real with you. I just want to put it out there as a possibility. If it pushes up, resistance will be at 19 flat, or like the 19 range, 19.5, and then 20. Okay, key places to be looking out for. So what do I think is going to happen to NIO? Well, what you'll notice is, over the last 5 days, we're respecting this upward trend. And if I zoom out, and I apologize if the lines are kind of like blinding or if they kind of give you a bit of a headache, but I could draw this trend line for you. We could start from like right here, and you could see it looks kind of like this. There we go. So tomorrow, what could end up happening to NIO is we might come down, test the trend line, or come kind of close, and then we might get a nice push up perhaps after. That's kind of like what I'm seeing playing out. So for NIO, what could happen is we kind of push like this, we get a slight drop down to like the mid $18 level like this, and then we get a nice bounce after that. The market starts pushing, and NIO might actually go as high as that 19.5 range, maybe get rejected off that, trade a little bit sideways, and maybe close around that 19.5, 19.3 range. And that's just the start of what I believe is going to be a bullish run, because I see NIO next week hitting the 20s. I see this thing pushing up even higher than that. It should be maybe the low 20s very soon, and I'm quite bullish. Now, we may not even touch this trend line again. We might actually push even higher than that. And I'm going to show you exactly why. So, first off, look at this executive order from President Joe Biden himself. So, this is known as Executive Order 14032. This is way more complicated. I'm going to try to make this simple. Basically, there was an executive order from the former president, President Trump, and he his intention was to take away collateral from a lot of these short sellers that are abusing their power and shorting companies to the ground, like NIO, for instance. And I don't truly know if they're using Chinese money to do that, but they have been using Chinese money. And what happened was this executive order came into effect in January 2021. It was delayed for some reason. It was delayed until like May, the end of May. Then in June, it was delayed again. June 2021, it was delayed for June 3rd, 2022. So, what this essentially means is shorts use collateral when shorting a position, and the collateral they often use is supposedly a lot of Chinese money. They use Chinese bonds to do this. This executive order will make the bonds worthless. They're no longer going to be traded. This means that the shorts lose billions of dollars, and this may lead to a potential squeeze like event hypothetically. Can I promise that? I can't necessarily promise that, but you could see on the executive order the purchase or sale of publicly traded securities described in subsection A of this section made into effect. They're basically allowed and they're permitted prior to the 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on June 3rd, 2022, with respect to any person listed in the annex to this order. So this means that the shorts could lose collateral. There could be a squeeze like event. Maybe not a perfect squeeze. Like, I don't literally mean a squeeze, but some pushes to the upside for a lot of heavily shorted stocks. And it might just help NIO next week, maybe tomorrow, start to push up too. So maybe NIO won't just stop at 19, maybe it goes all the way to the 20s. It's very probable. Either way, I see this thing actually pushing up tomorrow and perhaps later on. So I'm pretty darn bullish. I do think NIO is going to explode next week and go to the 20s. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait for what the future holds. The last thing I want to talk about is this right here. NIO put on their NIO Global Twitter page that swapping batteries means that you will always have the latest tech, says NIO Marius Haler. I apologize if I said the name wrong. They said this in a BBC article, and they're talking about the fact that this battery swap technology is going to be huge for Europe. It's already big in China, and it allows people to essentially having the most updated types of batteries. Okay, updated tech. They can also get software updates. It's amazing, amazing technology. It's very feasible for China and maybe many European countries. And to me, it's just another reason as to why I'm very excited for this company as it expands across the world. So short term, yeah, I'm pretty darn bullish. In the long term, that doesn't mean all the downside is over, but if you wait another year, if you wait a couple of months, I do believe NIO is going to push up very, very high. I do believe it's going to break all-time highs perhaps next year. I'm very bullish. Give the company the time it needs, and the fundamentals will really, really show. With that out of the way, I want to thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.